to come up here and make remarks. You know, one thing you can never say nearly enough is thank you. I think it's very important that we always remember to say thank you. I was talking at church last night, and you know, you never know when you might need a hand. It's really important for you to lend a hand. You never know when that'll come back to you, and that's just been part of the mantra of this company. This company has grown a lot bigger than me. Thank you so much, first of all, for my wife. I have to thank her first. Believe it or not, she's actually the president of EP Legacy, and I'm the vice president. She demoted me. But no, the reason that I tell you that, obviously, it had to start with me at home. She had to be behind me and supporting me through this and all those crazy ideas that I've had, and she's backed me 110%. And so without her and the love of my family, I would never be able to do this. That's first. Obviously, God is very first, but then my family, of course, has always been very supportive of me. But then these people that have these blue Fidele shirts on, and they had no choice but to wear them if they wanted to keep their job, if they wanted another paycheck, that's another crew. Please tell them thank you, because there's no... they are the ones, so to speak, behind the scenes, but then they're the ones that are the front runners too. So they allow me to get behind the scenes. They allow me to do the things that I do. All of this started a long time ago, 8 years ago. That sounds like a long time ago, and has blown up into a big, big deal. With EastPoint and EP Legacy. Just to give you just a teeny background of EastPoint, we started this after I had worked with a big national company for years. You know, I venture out, I'm going to try it on my own. And I'm not trying to offend any bankers in here, because I do banking with bankers, okay? But Self-Help Credit Union was the only one that would even look at me. And they gave me my first start. And I've never forgotten that. They believed in me. And that's hard when you know, if you don't have established business credit. I mean, I'm not sure if you're a good risk. I get all that now. I didn't understand it back then. I had a lot of doors shut in my face, but you just keep going, and that's what you have to do. The persistence has obviously paid off. But Emily and I, a couple of years ago, we've been doing some missions work and going to some different countries, but you know, people don't realize this, but if one of your parents or grandparent or family member had an artificial leg and they passed away, oftentimes we have those family members come to us with the leg and say, can you do anything with this? And we go, oh yeah, you wouldn't believe it. There's somebody in West Africa that needs some of these parts. You cannot do that in the U.S. So you can't reuse it. The FDA regulates us and keeps us from reusing artificial limb parts here. So we are able to use used parts there. However, we still believe enough in the amputees in these other countries, the developing nations, that they deserve new stuff as well. So we are trying to be able to provide that. You'll see examples of 3D printing. These countries are going to be up to where we are and surpassing most of the companies in the U.S. here shortly where we go, because we hope to be able to involve them in 3D printing. So, and actually printing prosthetic legs, as strange as that may sound to some of you. Some of you are like, print a leg, yeah. I felt the same way. I don't have the flip phone like Jimbo, but you know, I love Jimbo. It's hard about that. So, anyway. But just, you know, that touched our hearts and our lives, and we said, you know what, we need a non-profit organization, because one, you can actually get a tax deduction for donating an artificial limb from a family member. You can carry it back to your CPA and things like that, and they can determine the value. But then we were starting to get donations as well. And so people were saying, hey, listen, what if we could just donate or take up some money for you to go on these trips? So we thought it was imperative to have the nonprofit organization. So that's where you see EastPoint and EP Legacy. EP, Emily, Paul, and Legacy is our son Tyler. So yeah, that's where that name came from. But certainly part of our mission, part of our vision with this company is leaving a legacy that's greater than the heritage we received. You've heard it over and over. I want it better for my kid than what I had. Well, that's what we want. And I want this company to be here long after I'm gone and to still continue to make a difference in lives around the world. Thank you.